Eamon Khan here, 4 seconds out with heavyweight Sol Dacres. Cat's out of the bag, signed for Queensbury. Sol Dacres. Sol, you're making your debut very soon. How you doing, sir?
I'm all good, man. Thanks yourself.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad to hear another Brummy tones in around Manchester and everywhere around the world as well too, as we've spoken in previous interviews. The decision to sign with Queensbury, what led you here?
Numerous things. Obviously, the heavyweight division is really, I think, thriving at Queensbury. The big one for me was a British title fight, on their show in Saudi, and that's something I'm gunning for, British title. So, that was one of the big reasons. Also, I've been sparring with Tyson Fury, for a good few weeks, put in good words. Him and Spencer Brown with Frank, and they got me a really good offer and a good deal that I got together.
Now, I spoke to you in Saudi pre the heavyweight fights. Let's get your take on those before we move into your fights coming up. First of all, that British title fight is one you had a keen eye on. Was it what you thought it would be when it all materialised and played out?
Yeah, people was asking me, I did think Warldey was going to win. I thought Adelaide was a bit subpar. And it went not far off how I thought it would go, to be honest. So nothing really surprised me what I was seeing there.
In terms of the British title, do you think that's your next fight after this one, or will you have another before?
No, I hope so. That's what I want. Obviously, Saturday's the main focus. Got a good fight Saturday, get that win. That's the main thing, and that would be my full focus after this.
You made no bones about what you wanted a post fight as well. You put yourself in that situation. You said you wanted Fabio. Fabio's put out a tweet response, which was quite funny as well too. But what did you see in the performance that makes you confident that you would get the victory over Fabio?
Just everything that I can see, with my own boxing, my boxing IQ, with what I can see, I just know what I can do with it. Without saying too much, but I just know that I feel like I'm on another level.
Without you saying too much, I will say from my point of view, I think what we haven't seen for Fabio is maybe a more technical fighter, a long, languid fighter in the ring with him. Is that where you feel you might have those advantages where Fabio might be wanting or not proven just yet?
Yeah, there's a lot of things with me that I feel like it's going to be very hard to overcome for an opponent. So, like you say, there's things that he can do in the ring with like Adelaide that he won't be able to do with me. And like I say, I'm confident in my own abilities is the main thing.
Getting into your fight against Michael Webster, can't afford any slip-ups, that's without saying there. But also want to put up a bit of a performance as well too, making your debut, you want to make a splash there. That on your mind?
Yeah, definitely. Just signed with them, you've got me straight out on this card, thankfully. So, of course, I want to put a good performance in and make a statement, and show what I'm about going forward.
There's a huge fight announcement coming up soon, we believe to be. Have you pushed for potentially having a fight over in Saudi Arabia? Is that what you're looking for, as well as that British title fight, but also the money that comes with it if it happens over there too?
Yeah, obviously, they're getting a lot more fights over in Saudi. I was there. The production, everything they put on was, amazing. It's another level what they're doing over there. So, it's something that, if I can get a fight over there, it'll be a great experience. And I heard the money's good as well.
The money's good indeed. The other point of contention from that fight week was the Fury versus Ngannou fight. Boxing doesn't quite know how to digest that performance by Ngannou. We've got to give him the credit first of all. But what were you left with after having seen the performance of those two heavyweights?
Yeah, it was a bit surprising. Fury, it was different how he planned out our footage. Completely annihilating. But you got to give credit. Ngannou's very strong. And with these guys that are not pure boxers, they're very awkward. And when you're awkward and strong and, like you see him in the knockdown, the punch comes from an angle you don't expect it. And, next thing you know, he's on the canvas. So, you have to be very, very cautious. And I think then he thought, you know what, I've just got to try and just get the win in this fight now. It was an interesting performance.
Has Ngannou's level gone up in your estimation? A lot of talk about what level he was and who would beat him. Has that gone up in your level after that fight with Fury?
Maybe. If you're watching, he's still not technically great. He's just strong. He's very basic as a boxer. But he's just strong, and obviously he's heavyweight. That power can make a big difference. So I'd still be unsure as to what his level would be against someone else. On a good night, on a good performance. It's hard to say.
Hard to say indeed. And whenever Tyson Fury fights, whenever Joshua fights, the spotlight's on him, it shines very bright. And in the aftermath, credible commentators in the industry have been saying maybe Tyson Fury should retire. It sounds outlandish, but what did you make of that? Do you think that's a real option?
Nah, you know what? It's just what happened on the night, really. You know, when he fights Usyk next, which I think he will, it's going to be a different performance. He'll be able to let his hands go. You know, Usyk hasn't got that same power, size, or anything like that. So he'll risk throwing his shots more, I think, and he'll be able to box more with Usyk. You know, someone who's going to box with him. You know, back and forths, exchanges, not just watch what happens. One swing might take me out or something. You know what I mean? I think there'll be a lot more boxing going on.
A couple of things as well to add, going back to your fight with Fabio. Fabio was also kind of stating that maybe you and Fraser Clark should fight off to fight him. If that was put to you, would you do it?
Yeah, but he's just swerving, you know what I mean? What he's swerving for, you know, I want to get him in the ring, you know what I mean? Not putting other names forward. You know, I'm gunning for that British title.
Not looking too far past that point, but you get to British title level. From your perspective, you win the British title, do you stay there? Do you pick up the experience, or do you want to push on?
Just depends what fights are there after it. You know, if it's a good fight for a defence, you know, we get him a fight at the defence. If it's good fights to move on up in the world rankings and move up in the world rankings, you just have to see how things plan out at the time.
Do you think it does happen with Fabio? Do you think you get the British title fight against him, or do you think maybe he might vacate, look forwards, and you fight for the British title against another?
I don't know what he's going to do. Hopefully I'd like to get him in the ring. You know, if he wants to vacate and move on, then it shows that, you know, he don't want to fight me and risk losing at this stage. He wants to try and outrun me, you know what I mean? But we just have to see as it goes, to be honest.
Final thoughts, potential of Anthony Joshua versus Otto Wallin. Good fight, do you feel?
Yeah, interesting one. You know, Wallin's quite tricky. I feel Joshua probably feel like, you know, he's beat him in the amateurs. Probably feels like he's got the better of him. So interesting one, just to see. It'll help you see where they're both at. You know, Wallin will kick on from it, or whether Joshua is still at the level that he was.
And Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker.
Yeah, that's a crazy fight. You know what I mean? Obviously, Wilder has, you know, lost. You know, been knocked down multiple times. You know, by Fury. Joe Parker's in good form at the minute, but obviously Wilder's just got that crazy punch power. You know, so if that fight happens, you know, all the best to Joe, and just, you know, stay away from the right hand.
And finally, Warren's no stranger to the West Midlands scene, to Birmingham. Have you talked about Warren about putting on another West Midlands card, you being the potential headline too?
Yeah, hopefully. I haven't spoke about it yet. You know, I've only signed with him for a couple of weeks. You know, so let's get this one out of the way. But, you know, those are the sort of options that, you know, I always would like to have. You know, fights in my home city and home area. So every fighter wants.
So looking forward to your fight this weekend. Thanks for being SecondsOut. All the best.